How are you, ladies and gentlemen? My name is teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, a teacher of literature in English. Listen the poem called I Will Pronounce Your Name by Leopold, Sedar, Senghor. I will pronounce your name, night. I will declaim you, night. Night, your name is made like cinnamon. It is flanks in which lemon grove sleeps. Night, your name is sugared clouds of blooming coffee trees, and it resembles the savannah, the blossoms forced under the masculine ardor of the midday sun. Name of dew, fresher than shade of tamarind, fresher even than the shoot dusk when the heat of the day is silenced. Night, that is the dry tornado, the hardy clap of the lightning. Night, coin of gold, shining coal, you my night, my sun. I'm your hero, and now I have become your soul. In order to pronounce your names, presence of Elisa banished from Futa on the fateful day. Leopold Sedar Senghor is a pioneer of the negritude ideology structured this poem to match up to his ideology. In the poem, I will pronounce your name. Senghor uses heavy imagery to present his idea. In the poem, he forms a female character by the name of Night. Throughout the poem, he expresses his affection for Night through the few lines that make up the poem. Leopold makes the reference of night beauty and ironical called beauty, attributes which are commonly regarded unattractive outside the African continent. The poet makes reference to such aspects as shining coal, line 8, and you, my night sun, line 8. He thus makes it clear that the reader should not make a direct translation and interpretation of the word he uses in the poem, but should consider them as the image they are. The intended readers of the poem should make sense of the symbols and the imagery used in the development of the poem for the effective communication of the contained message. Though the leopard lights night has experienced some level of shame in being banished from Futa, he decided to become her soul, proclaiming her name. At the beginning of the poem, the poet makes the promises of declaiming night, which expresses his readiness to immortality as through the spoken word. Indeed, throughout the poem, Leopold Sedar Senghor communicates his celebration of the beauty and the ways of the African culture. In the writing of the poem, the poet translates the idea and the concern of the negritude movement and its relationship with the African continent. He makes symbolic reference to the African continent in different lines of the poem, which cannot be mistaken for any other entity. In line 4 of the poem, the poet makes reference to the savannah and the midday sun, which are symbols closely associated with the African continent. In consistency in the themes of negritude movement, the poem celebrates the beauty of the African continent. The celebration of the such aspect is achieved mentioned in the natural features associated with Africa. At a deeper level symbolism, the characters knight can be considered to represent the African continent. Hence, the poet elogiates his love and admiration for the African continent. Through the few lines that make up the poem, narrated movement men encourage the glorification of African continent, which was contrary to the view and opinion of the French colonialists in West Africa. Leopold Sedar Senghor likens Africa's beauty to that laid. He calls night. According to the poet, the word's perspective of Africa and its beauty does not demean the underlying beauty of the content in any way. That is the end of the poem analysis. My name is teacher Kaligo Dotto Njige, the teacher of literature in English. Thank you for listening.